All right, we are wrapping up the sweat with some PGA talk, and a man on location right now, senior golf writer for Rotowire, Len Hochberg, coming to us live from this week's LPGA event at Wilshire Country Club in Los Angeles, where it's apparently a little cool, a little windy. But before we get into this week's PGA event, dude, you are hanging out with the women at Wilshire, where they will just have teed off in round one. So I think a few players are off. I saw you posting on Twitter, world number one is already off. Can you give us a little breakdown of their tournament this week?
Yeah, Emerson, good to see you. And yeah, the LPGA is on DraftKings. The game is already underway. The tournament is underway. But the LPGA is back in Los Angeles for the third straight year. It was a long absence where it wasn't here. It's been in Southern California forever, the ANA inspiration, the old Dinah Shore. So that's been around. But it is a big presence to have the LPGA in Los Angeles. And this is a big deal. All the top golfers, 15 of the top 20 in the world are here. Lydia Ko, she went off at 11,000 as number one on the DraftKings board. Jin Young Ko, a world number one. Minjee Lee, the defending champion. Inbee Park has gone off. You saw a picture of Laura Davies. The Corda sisters are here, Lexi Thompson. But you know who the big star of the week is this week? It's none of them, none of the top players in the world by the rankings. It's a golfer priced at $6,500 on DraftKings. Michelle Wee West is back. She's not going to tee up till about a little before 1 o'clock local time, but she took off most of 2019, most of 2020. She got married. She had a little daughter, but she's back now. This is actually her third event back. She has not made a cut in the first two, but she is the big star and the big headliner this week at Wilshire Country Club, where supposedly like Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell and others are members. Haven't seen any of them as yet, but it's a great vibe out here, and it's a big deal for the LPGA to be in Los Angeles and on DraftKings. So very cool.
Yeah, it's a big deal. They have Rotowire's Len Hochberg out there. You know, who needs like Will Ferrell and all those other dudes when Hochberg's roaming the course?
Really, Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, Len Hochberg, one of these is not like the other.
Yeah, right? I think Will Ferrell's pretty tall. Okay, so focusing now on the Zurich Classic, a team stroke play event. How will this impact your DFS strategy this week?
Yeah, it's really an anomaly. It's great. This is the first year that DraftKings has the Zurich. And yeah, we have seen golfers who aren't what we would consider good golfers, at least on the professional level, do very well here. Like David Hearn and Seamus Power have teamed in the past 2 years to finish top 10 together. Unfortunately, Power just had to withdraw the other day, COVID. Troy Merritt and Robert Streb have finished top 25 together 2 of the 3 years. You know, when John Rahm and Ryan Palmer got together and they won the tournament last year, obviously 2 good golfers, but I was wondering what the chemistry was there. We have a young guy, an old guy. We have a guy from Texas, a guy from Spain, but obviously it worked. You know, you're also going to have to find, you can only pick one of the 2 guys in the team. And if you're going to pick a team, you better pick a team that has a putter. 26 under won last year with Rahm and Palmer, and 27 under is the record. Chemistry is the key, just like you and me display every week, Emerson.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say the same exact thing. I mean, you and I make a great team, but who's your favorite team above 8K for the Zurich?
Wow, 8K, you're giving me a lot of latitude here.
Have fun with it.
You know, well, Rahm and Palmer, obviously they are 2 good golfers. Rahm 3 in the world, Palmer right around 25th in the world, and we've seen them win, and we've seen them have great camaraderie and great fun together on the course. So they are really one of the top teams out here today. You know, Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay, 2 top 10 players. That shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to put 2 top 10 players. What is it? It's like the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody, yeah, come on, you want to play on this team? You know, come on over here. So, but they're going to be fun to watch as well. And I don't know if they are going to be able to have the chemistry that we saw from Rahm and Palmer. But yeah, I do, it's sort of chalk, but Rahm and Palmer certainly are the team to beat this year, I think, this week.
Yeah, there are 5 players in this week's field that currently rank inside the world top 10, and 2 of them make up that pairing of Cantlay and Schauffele. It does seem like unfair, like on paper.
Yeah, I mean, if I can date myself here, when Bob Dylan and George Harrison and Tom Petty formed the Traveling Wilburys, to form some super group, that's okay. But I think in golf, you shouldn't be able to load up on the top 10s in one group. But we'll see.
What about a favorite team to use for some value here? Because I think people are going to get distracted with a lot of big names, a lot of pairings around the top. Can you take us down the leaderboard here?
Yeah, Doug Gim, who's having a very good season, really a breakthrough season for him. He's playing with Justin Suh, who came out of the draft class, the college class with Morikawa and Wolf and Hovland. He has not had the success. Gim is a great ball striker, great strokes gained approach numbers. Justin Suh is second on tour in strokes gained putting. You really need a putter this week. Like I said, it's 26 under was the winning score last year. Somebody's going to have to make birdies and eagles. So that could be a quietly good team. Those 2 guys, I like it 8,100.
What do you think about a team to maybe stay away from? Is there one that kind of spooks you a little bit?
Well, sadly, Colin Morikawa, talk about a super group. So Colin Morikawa is playing with Matthew Wolff, and Matthew Wolff has not had a great season. He has had some bad finishes. He's withdrawn. He had an injury. He was DQ'd from the Masters for signing an incorrect scorecard. He was going to miss the cut anyway. He's been having some troubles, and maybe this is just what he needs. Maybe playing with a buddy, Colin Morikawa, will help him, and he will be great. But it's really been a tough season for him. So I'm going to hold off on Matthew Wolff. There's another team out there that has been getting a lot of love on Twitter. Keegan Bradley and Brendan Steele. And I'm not quite seeing it. I mean, they are 2 elite world-class ball strikers, but I don't know who's going to make a putt in that group. I mean, Brendan Steele is the better putter in your group, and he certainly is. I'd be very surprised if they do well. They could make the cut and all because of the just elite ball striking, but to stay up in a track meet where you're going to have to make a lot of birdies, I don't see it happening with those guys.
Yeah, I think people just see that Steele hasn't missed a single cut and owns a pair of top 5 finishes. So people look at that and think, okay, great. But these team events can be so different. How much emphasis do you put on a player's history in team events like this? Like Bubba Watson's not super great. I think he's 9-8-1 in partner matches or something like that.
Yeah, and and if we could say Bubba Watson, he's not your kind of a weird dude on occasion here and there. And yeah, that could be a problem because these guys have got to get along. And if somebody hits a bad shot and somebody gets pissed off or, and you're setting up your teammate and all. So, yeah, I think that, they really have to, if not be friends, but at least get along with one or pretty well. And I think there is an advantage if, I don't know, Bubba Watson's playing with Scotty Scheffler, or Bubba Watson and Scotty Scheffler going to have dinner every night after the round. I don't know. But some of these other guys are going to, they're probably going to spend the whole week together.
All right. Give us your pick to win, dude. This is it. Don't get scared now.
There's a team who these 2 guys played in college together, Victor Hovland and Chris Ventura. I think they're $9,700. Chris Ventura was actually at Oklahoma State. He's 3 years older than Hovland. So he was the veteran in that group. He was the mentor of sorts to Victor Hovland. But now that they're in the pros, Victor Hovland, of course, has gone on to greatness. He's about 14th, 15th in the world, something like that. Chris Ventura is still trying to make his mark. He's 26. Hovland is 23. But they were buddies, and they are playing together this week. And so I like to see that. What I also like to see is that Hovland is really elite tee to green, not the greatest putter. Well, Chris Ventura is 6th on tour in strokes gained putting. I think these guys can have a blast playing with each other all week. I think they complement each other's games. And this could be a real boon to Chris Ventura to get his PGA Tour really kicked into high gear. I think they can be there right in the mix come late Sunday.